Namaskaram. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost important, I would like to welcome the chief guest of the evening, Professor D. Ravinder, Vice Chancellor, Osmania University, and Mrs. Ravinder for being here tonight. Let's give it up for them. Thank you. Secondly, at the same time, I would like to welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Amit Kumar, Consul General, Consulate of India at Chicago, and Mrs. Surabhi Kumar for being here tonight as well. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for them. At this time, I would like to ask Ashfaq Syed, our host committee member, to please come on the stage with the welcome address at this time. Thank you so much.
Friend, good evening. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste. Sat Sri Akal. My name is Ashfaq Hussain Syed. Zaki Bhai has introduced me. So I'm one of the community members of Naperville. Honorable Consul General of India, Chicago, Mr. Amit Kumar, Professor D. Ravinder, Vice Chancellor, Osmania University, Hyderabad, India. Elected officials, appointed officials, host committee members, Osmania University family and community leaders. A warm welcome to each and every person who has taken out their personal family time to be with us to celebrate our own Osmania University's Foundation Day. Osmania University family and the community leaders. It is my honor and privilege to host Osmania University Foundation Day in Chicago with my wonderful host committee members who has extended a great support in organizing this event today. Osmania University is one of the largest affiliated universities and is home to more than 300,000 students pursuing their higher studies on its campus and affiliated colleges. It has nearly 5,000 plus staff members, teaching and non-teaching staff. It is a great organization where I am one of the product of that organization, Osmania University. I feel so honored and proud. And I know a lot of eminent people who have graduated or who has done masters from this great university. It is a 100-year-old university, and today we are celebrating Foundation Day of that university. So I just wanted to welcome each and every person who is here, and thank you so much for your time and your everything what you have been doing for community. Thank you so much.
You know, as I said, born and raised in Hyderabad, wonderful memories together. One of the dignitaries with us. This man, I'm feeling honored. I feel honored at this time, and it's a pleasure for me to introduce to you this man who received his Master of Arts, Master of Philosophy, and PhD degrees from Osmania University. He joined the faculty of the Department of Political Science of Osmania University back in 1990. He has more than 30 years of teaching, research, and academic administrative experience. He has rich and diversified experience in research and academic administration. He served as the principal of the Osmania University Postgraduate College and also served as the principal of University College of Arts and Social Sciences, popularly known as Arts College of Hyderabad. He also served as the Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences, Mahatma Gandhi University in Nalgonda. He was a Deputy Coordinator of the Center for Advanced Studies, an important level UGC-sponsored research program at the Department of Political Sciences, Osmania University. He had successfully guided a number of students for the award of their MPhil and PhD degrees. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me and welcome the 25th Vice Chancellor of 105-year-old Osmania University, Professor Ravinder, sir. Once again, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Thanks.
Yeah, good evening to all of you. Good evening to ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Consul General of India, Sri Amit Kumar ji and Madam Amit Kumar ji. and the organizing committee, particularly Ashwakji. I think from last 10 days, every day he has been calling me and messaging me and after me. So finally, I could able to hear because of all of you and the organizing committee. I think each and everyone, I thank each and everyone for your support and inviting me to for this important function and the important foundation day. In fact, the see Tajamul Hussain Garu and Sheikh Anwar Ahmad, Srini Patelu, Jaki Basat, Muhammad Salim Garu, Hanmant Reddy Garu. In fact, Hanmant Reddy Garu, which I had the opportunity to meet him in New Jersey. My journey started from 25th onwards, almost all more than 7 cities which so far which I have covered. And almost back to back, every second day I flew from one city to other city and explaining I think trying to bring back the glory of the Osmania University. So I think I'm like to take, I think you have given just 10 minutes time to me, but teachers have the habit of 45 minutes. But I don't want to take much of your time. Where Osmania University completed its centenary celebrations in 2017, 26th April, with the slogan that known as Glorious Past, Celebrating Present, Inspiring Future. So this was a slogan which I have identified for these celebrations of the centenary celebrations during 2017. But whereas, as soon as I took over the Vice Chancellor, we have come up with a new slogan that known as Reform, Perform, and Transform. I am not exaggerating this slogan, but recently the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, visited Hyderabad, where he said the same slogan in the Hyderabad meeting. Maybe it's a coincidence, but which I have been practicing this last 1 year. I think let me thank Honorable Chief Minister, the Kalvakunda Chandrasekhar Rao Garu, who gave me this opportunity to serve the historical university, Osmania University. I think as of all of you know that, it laid the legacy of Osmania University, particularly in the South India. It was the 3rd oldest university and the 7th oldest university in the country. I think all of you have to thankful to the Mir Usman Ali Khan ji, which have prepared a movie, on 15 minutes movie of the developments of from 1917 to till today. But somehow I think technical snag which is not able to telecast. I think here I wanted to place before you certain reforms. But as all of you know that 2014, the Telangana carved out from the Andhra Pradesh, which is the youngest state in the country. But as soon as it became the government of Telangana gave lot of importance for the higher education. Here, I think, which we have initiated a number of reforms, where if at all I could get the opportunity to serve Osmania University, the historical Osmania University, I prepared a plan for the next 10 years, next 15 years, or next 20 years maybe. In 2021, which we have prepared the plan that known as the 21-point agenda 21 point, that which we almost all spent 2 months with all the professors and all the stakeholders and prepared this 21-point agenda for the future 20 years of the Osmania University. It's like a roadmap for the Osmania University. I think lot of appreciation from the bureaucrats, from the politicians and academicians for the preparation of this roadmap. In fact, I am proudly say that it's a first in kind, which we have prepared this roadmap. And similarly, this roadmap consists of the 21-point agenda, consists of the broadly 4 verticals that we would like to give utmost importance for the teaching and learning methods, because thanks to COVID, which has almost all shifted our the teaching practices, particularly from the traditional teaching to the online teaching and blended mode of teaching. So that's why to suit that, I think we have changed our technology in the university teaching learning methods. The second most important that known as the research and innovation activities and innovation this thing, because research is ultimately the face of the Osmania University. Wherever we go, it depends upon the research. That's why we have given utmost importance for the research. And subsequently, the first time which we have created a award that known as the Vice Chancellor Award for the best research publications, which we have invited the IIT Delhi Director Ram Gopal Garu for delivering the distinguished lecture series. So in that, he suggested to have the foundation for the Osmania University Foundation, which have created the foundation on the non-profit organization, because most of the universities in the West and in the India, particularly IITs and IIMs, with the backbone that is known as the alumni. So the third vertical that known as the infrastructure development, the fourth vertical that known as the outreach activity. These are the four major areas which consist of the, again, subclasses, sub-themes. But similarly, as per my opinion, any university, it consists of on the four pillars. The first pillar is known as the students, the second pillar is known as the faculty, third pillar is known as the non-teaching, and fourth pillar is known as the alumni. But unfortunately, somehow, where I found, as soon as I took over, I found the strength of the alumni. Almost all, the Osmania University has produced the crore and plus graduates and postgraduates and PhD scholars, but whereas the registered number is just 1,200. So I think it is we missed a lot because we could not integrate the alumni into the Osmania University development. So that's why wherever I go, I appealing all of them that please pay back as your intellectual input. And generally, it's almost all 7 cities which I have addressed. I think the alumni of the Osmania occupied the best of the best places in the CEOs, and particularly, as you all aware, that from the Prime Minister of India, the late P.V. Narasimha Rao, to till today, most of the important positions occupied and produced by the Osmania University. That's why I think I said, wherever I go, Osmania University produced only leaders, not followers. So that is a great thing of the Osmania University. So that's why I think I've been requesting wherever I go and wherever I visit the places also. Sir, I did my graduation from Osmania. So I used to ask, who is not did from the Osmania? Even in Delhi and Hyderabad and everywhere, the lakhs of people, they did their masters and their undergraduate course from the Osmania. So the lot of intellectual input is there. So that's why I'm requesting even Chicago Intelligentsia and even the Houston also. In the Houston, I think the wonderful program organized, I think much more wonderful program here in the Chicago now. I think I'm happy to see all of you, but some of them, they graduated in 1960s when I was not born. But fortunately, I think I had the opportunity to speak in front of the senior teachers, senior scientists, senior colleagues of the Osmania University. So in light of this, which we have initiated a number of reforms, particularly the alumni engagement. That's why we created a separate cell in the Osmania University, alumni cell, and the NRI alumni cell also, which would like to take their inputs and move forward in the future development of the Osmania University. And also the existing courses which are now, I think most of the courses are traditional and redundant. That's why we revamped the whole undergraduate courses, which have come up with new courses like artificial intelligence and machine learning, mining, and so on and so forth, public policy, and even honors course also in the Nizam College and Women's College. Because earlier, if anybody wanted to study honors, they have to move to either Delhi or Bangalore. But whereas we have provided this to enhance the quality of education, that's why we are come up with a new courses in engineering, science, and other courses also. So 2 skill-oriented and market-oriented courses also which we have been focusing. The second most important thing is that I think it's the first in kind in the entire country. The Osmania University, which we worked almost all 6 months to come up with this idea, any graduate from either science or engineering or medicine or commerce can pursue arts and social sciences from this academic year, which we open up. We removed all the barriers that has been existing in the last century, almost all from the 50 years and century. For example, I have come from the political science. I'm eligible to pursue MA Political Science only if I did BA Political Science. Now, which we removed all these barriers, I think this is going to be the classroom composition also changed. Once classroom composition changed, I think definitely the innovative ideas which generate from that classroom also. So similarly, most of the students which you are coming from the Telugu medium background and the rural background. For that, whenever I interact with the students, they say that, what do you want to become? They say that either teacher or constable. Their perception levels is also very, very low. So that's why we are coming up with a civil services academy. We are already, it is on and the coaching classes also started, but whereas we converted one workshop into a big civil service academy that you join as a student, leave as a civil servant. That is the slogan. So we would like to give utmost importance for the civil services, and we engage our faculty and even the welfare departments also helping us. The another major important initiative that known as the always in front of the Arts College, I think Arts College is known for the epicenter for all kinds of social movements, all kinds of political and economic kind of issues. So which is taking place at the burning of the effigies and sign. So since I have come from the political science, I don't want to disturb. So everyone has the democratic right. You can, but not in front of the Arts College. So that's why I think we have created a separate center for the student discourses. So where with 20 lakhs of rupees, which have created all facilities and let them have debate and discuss and debates in that. And at the same time, when I was had the opportunity to serve in the Arts College, the Historical Arts College, as almost all 3.5 years as a principal. From the last 20 years, no one could get that kind of opportunity, but whereas a lot of people appointed, but they could not complete even term, even 1 month they resigned, and 1 day resigned, because that's the hottest seat in the in the Telangana, in the country also. My friends used to say that the Arts College principal is a hot seat. Not hot seat, is the hottest seat. Now again, I am sitting on a furnace. Osmania University Vice Chancellor position is not simple. Every day you used to get number of pressures, calls and other things, but I am not going to yield for that kind of a thing. But we are stick to the rules and regulations, which are streamlined the whole system and other things also. I'm placed before you that one important center, which is also we launched. We were in the almost all administrative sanctions cleared. That one is the Center for Indo-Pacific Studies. The future of the research is that. I think Amit Kumar ji also knew that. Even most of the, I met the Dammu Ravi Garu, the Secretary Minister of External Affairs, where he said that out of 650 universities in the country, Osmania University, only the university came forward with this idea. So which we are going to launch in a big way, the Center for Indo-Pacific Studies. That's going to be the future of the research and other activities also. And also the Ambedkar Studies Research Center, which we have established, Center for Telangana Studies also established, and we're also coming up with a museum in the Osmania University. One important thing which I wanted to place before you, that when Nizam, Mir Usman Ali Khan, when the foundation stone laid, so how many of you know the foundation stone, where it is? I think I don't know, but I almost discovered that. It's the corner of the, while going to the bank, at the corner of the down, that foundation stone laid by the Mir Usman Ali Khan, where it was written in Urdu, Persian, Arabic. It consists of the 3 languages. I took almost 1 month to translate into English. I placed that just after that in that place, the English translation version. I think, and also we converted one big hall in the Arts College, that is a centenary classroom, from the foundation stone laid by the Mir Usman Ali Khan, that to completion of the 100 years history, which I placed in the Arts College. That room we named after the centenary e-classroom. So once you enter into that classroom, I think you can see the growth and development of the building and the education of the Osmania University, that which I did it. And when I was the principal, just you enter into the Arts College, where there was a beautiful replica, the wooden replica, that we placed in the glass box and with the brief history. So once you enter into the Arts College, nobody knows the history. So that's why I think we came up with a brief history of the Arts College, and when it was founded, and what was the stone which was used, and who was the architect, and everything which were placed, and left and right wings also which are placed. And one more important thing which I wanted to place before you, that I would like to place, and then I'll stop here. So out of 105 years, almost all we completed 104 years. But why, I don't know, which is very, very important, that the Ashwak ji and other organizers organizing the Foundation Day, which in fact, our administration, the first time in the history of Osmania University, we conducted Foundation Day celebrations on 17th April 2022. That's the first time. And we are institutionalizing from here onwards. Every year we are going to conduct the Foundation Day celebrations in Osmania University. The last one, the Osmania Taksh. That known as the Osmania Taksh means it's basically a Sanskrit word, Taksh, to innovate, re-innovate the knowledge. That word which you have given. So general perception on Osmania University slowly it's fading. I'm not exaggerating the things, but to bring back the glory of the Osmania University produced a lot of research, but unfortunately we are not marketing. So to at least we showcase that, and we conducted the 3-day program in March 25th, 26th, 27th, it's Osmania Taksh. The first day devoted for the open day, the lab to land, lab to product, and we showcased all the instruments. Thousands of students come from the different parts of the Telangana, visited and appreciated like anything. That's the open house. We showcased the strength of each department. The second day, first time again in the history of Osmania City, we invited all the alumni to Arts College, and we interacted with that, and they felt very, very happy. And third day, cultural program which we organized. The 3-day program known as the Osmania Taksh and Foundation Day celebrations, which we invited the Lokpal Secretary Bharat Lalji and Vinod Kumar Garu and the Planning Commission Vice Chairman. They delivered the wonderful message on that day. So these are some of the important initiatives which I took it. And at the same time, the Vice Chancellor Award also initiated for the best published papers to encourage kind of a thing. And I think I am not exaggerating the thing that I think I am the first person to enter into the administrative building. By 9:30, I leave the last person to leave the administrative building from 9 to 9:30 from the last 1 year. So a lot of baggage that we need to clear up. So that's we focused on for last 1 year. Then I think now I am focusing on the alumni and alumni intellectual inputs to back to Osmania University. I think with this message, I thank each and everyone. Jai Osmania, Jai Ho Osmania.
I would like to welcome an individual who holds a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, India. He is a career diplomat, joined the Indian Foreign Services back in 1995. He has wide-ranging experience and served several Indian missions abroad. He was the Deputy Chief of Mission in the Embassy of India, Washington, D.C. with ambassador rank. He was a Joint Secretary for Development Partnership Administration, and then also was a Joint Secretary for Human Resources Management in the Ministry of External Affairs, New Delhi. He was Deputy Chief of Mission at Embassy of India, Tokyo. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me and welcome the Consul General of India at Chicago, Mr. Amit Kumar. It's an honor for us to have you and taking time having us here. Thank you so very much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Zaki, for that generous introduction. Good evening, friends. Professor Ravindra, Vice Chancellor of Osmania University, elected officials, distinguished guests, and all the Osmanians amongst us. I wanted to thank the host committee of Osmania University Alumni of Chicago for organizing the Foundation Day celebration for Osmania University and for getting us together. Let me, for sake of the Vice Chancellor here, let me just say a few words about the Indian American community. It is the largest, fastest growing immigrant community in the United States. It is one of the most prosperous, known for its work ethic, very well regarded by the local communities. For us as diplomats, they serve as a living bridge between our two important countries, the United States and India. And they have contributed in numerous ways to enrich our partnership. And I'll come to that later, and I'll speak about the cooperation in higher education sector. Professor Ravinder has already mentioned how the alumni present here can potentially be a great asset for the Osmania University. They have distinguished themselves nationally and internationally. And in fact, some of my esteemed colleagues in the Indian Foreign Service are alumni from Osmania University. The Ministry of External Affairs works with several universities to advance scholarship and research on areas of interest for us. And as the Vice Chancellor has already mentioned, Osmania University will host the Center for Indo-Pacific Studies, and we are grateful for that cooperation. In the United States and in the Midwest here, higher education cooperation is one of the priority areas for our consulate. As you know, there are several top-ranked universities in the US Midwest, and in the backdrop of the new education policy that was unveiled in August 2020, several universities here have expressed their willingness to work closely with Indian universities. To give you a brief background as to what the new national education policy entails, particularly with respect to the higher education sector, in brief, it sort of fundamentally reimagines the way our university should function or have functioned so far. So among its objectives are to introduce a more multidisciplinary nature of academics and research, moving away from silo-based approaches, strengthening interface of the university with the industry and with the society around us, to ensure how a university can function as a hub for the community around itself, how to incentivize research, and many other things. And Professor Ravinder has talked about some of the initiatives in this regard that he has taken at Osmania University. Now, for all these objectives, the experience of US universities is something which is very relevant. And the Indian consulate is willing to work with Indian universities to foster and advance deeper substantive collaboration between universities in the US and in India. And in fact, I'm very happy that the consulate facilitated meetings at University of Illinois in Chicago today and has set up interactions with the Illinois Institute of Technology in Chicago. So I do look forward to supporting Osmania University in their engagement efforts with US universities. Now, Professor Ravinder talked about this, and Ashfaq spoke about alumni contribution. As you know, in the US, universities benefit tremendously from alumni support in form of donations and contributions and endowments. And I think we need to pick up from those best practices. And all of us present here can perhaps agree that education was one of the most important catalysts in determining where we all stand today. And I would therefore urge all of you to consider showing your gratitude and be generous by giving back to our alma maters in whatever way possible. But I think one step that the association needs to take is expand your network. Vice Chancellor talked about the number of registered alumni. I think that should be the best, the first step. But there are many other alumni networks in the US, and I think you can borrow some ideas from them. Vice Chancellor Ravinder has also handed over a booklet to me, and I'm very happy to note that he has identified some of the priority areas where I think he needs support in terms of institution building, in terms of infrastructure development, in terms of equipment support or establishing new laboratories. So that is, you already have certain things to look for. And one suggestion that I would like to submit for your consideration is to set up a foundation the charter of which should be about supporting the university back. I know you have an association which is registered as a 5013C non-profit organization, but a dedicated foundation to support the university would be something good. If there is a core group who wants to take this idea forward, I'll put you in touch with, for example, I think the most successful example in the US is the IIT Mumbai Heritage Foundation. They will be happy to assist you in that. You also have several other chapters of Osmania University Alumni Association. I think if you can form a network there, you will be able to tap synergies that would exist, and it will help channelize your contributions to the growth trajectory of Osmania University. I have one suggestion for the Vice Chancellor, also again something which is based on my interaction with the US Midwest universities. For example, we have Purdue University, we have Michigan State University, we have University of Michigan. All three universities have something which is like an advisory council for their engagement with India. And this typically would involve senior leadership at the university and successful alumni who are now working in India. So likewise, I think if you can look at a small group which would focus on engagement with US and would have leadership at the Osmania University working closely with select members of the alumni here, I think it will perhaps bring more focus to your efforts. And before I conclude, I would like to once again assure you that Consulate stands ready to extend all support to these efforts. We must, as the Vice Chancellor said, we must all strive to reform, perform, and transform. Thank you.
Friends, good evening. I'm back again, once again. So we wanted to recognize Dr. Professor D. Ravinder, sir, for his initiatives, for his leadership, what he has been doing for the last 1 year back in India, in university in Hyderabad, because we need strong leaders. And as sir said, we don't need followers. We need followers as well as leaders. So definitely we need stars always. So we all, as a host community, we wanted to recognize Dr. D. Ravinder for your great initiative, for your great leadership back in India. So I request all host committee members as well as Amit ji to present this memento to Vice Chancellor.
Yeah, as a token of respect and our Honorable Consul General of India, this is the beautiful Arts College which I am presenting to Consul.
Thank you so much.